May the sunset take away all your stress, worries, and turmoil. May your evening turn out to be soul relaxing, replenishing, knowledgeable, and great. Good evening, everyone. With great joy and immense exultation, I extend my warm welcome to all dignitaries, guests, and delegates present here for the webinar series organized by Diksha e-learning in association with Ayurveda College Coimbatore. In today's session, we'll be discussing about role of Panchakarma in Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga. Before starting the session, I would like to go through few of the basic instructions to be followed throughout the session. For uninterrupted class session, use laptop with high-speed internet connection. Please make sure your microphone is on mute to have a disturbance-free session. In case of any disruption, please check your internet connection firstly, and if the problem is within our network connection, kindly raise the issue in the chat box. Filling your full name to be displayed is appreciated. Any question can be posted in the chat box. Questions raised will be cleared at the end of the session. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Jason NG, Associate Professor, Department of Panchakarma, Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, to deliver the welcome address.
Hi, good evening, one and all. I heartily welcome you all for today's webinar. As you all know, today's session is on the topic of... Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello. You can continue, sir.
Good evening, one and all. I heartily welcome you all for today's webinar. As you all know, today's section is on the topic Role of Panchakarma in Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga by Dr. Madhu M, Associate Professor, Department of Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga, SDM, Hassan. I extend a warm word of welcome to you, madam, for accepting our invitation and for being with us here today. Hope your valuable experience and views on the vast clinical area will be enlightening to all of us. We are all delighted to listen to your words, ma'am. On behalf of Ayurveda College Coimbatore, I welcome you all delegates to today's section. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Madhu ma'am. Ma'am completed her UG from STM College of Ayurveda, Hassan, and PG in Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga from NKJ Ayurveda Medical College, Baidar. She is pursuing her PhD from SCS VMB University, Kanjipuram. She started her career as lecturer in Alvas Ayurveda Medical College, Karnataka, and currently working as Associate Professor at STM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. Ma'am has guided about 10 dissertation works and has presented so many research papers in the national and international seminars and also published several articles in peer-indexed journals. We are very proud to have you here on this session today, ma'am. Now, without any further ado, we will turn the time over to respected Dr. Madhu, ma'am, to enlighten our minds with her knowledge. Over to you, ma'am.
Is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am, it is audible.
Okay. Let us continue. Let us start.
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Yeah. So today we'll be discussing about the topic Panchakarma in Prasuti Tantra and of Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga, STM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. So, first of all, introducing Sri, as today's topic is Sri Roga and Prasuti Tantra. The Panchakarma, 11 Panchakarma in the TSR, right? So, Sri. Shukra Shonika treating the Sri Rogas. So, Sri is a place where Shukra and Shoni are fused and the Garbha is formed. So, it is at most important to treat her diseases to have healthy progeny. And when we look into the Moolam Naryaha, that is the Nari or the lady is Mula or root cause to have a progeny. So if at all she is affected with some diseases, then she'll have diseases of yoni roga or yoni. So to have a healthy progeny, apatya, so her body should be clear, or she should be devoid of rogas. So that is why it is important to treat Sri. So coming to the Panchakarma, we already know that the Panchakarma, its role, or what is the uses of Panchakarma. So simple glance, let us have Buddhi Prasadham, Balam Indriyanam, Dhatu Sthiratvam, Jwalanasya Deeptam, Chiracha Pakam Vayasah Karoti, etc. So what is the role or the use of Panchakarma is explained in this shloka. In this, we can see Buddhi, Indriya, Prasada, all those stuff is fine. But along with that, the Dhatu Sthiratva is told. So Dhatu Sthiratva is very important here when we consider Garbhashaya as Dhatu. For us to have a healthy progeny, we should have Sthiratva. The Garbhashaya should be well matured, or the reproductive organs, female reproductive organs should be well matured to have that product of conceptus in it. So it is one of the use we have. And Chiracha Pakam Vayasah. So Chirat Vayas. So the Stree, she can be young and energetic with this use of Panchakarma. So these two beautiful uses we can have in our Panchakarma thing. So because of this, along with this, there is one more point, Jwalanasya Deeptam. That is the digestive power what the lady has, that will be increased. This, if the digestive Jataragni is increased, all the Dhatwagni is good. If Dhatwagni is good, whatever the Upadhatu, the Artava Dhatu, etc. will be formed very nicely. And HPO axis means the hypothalamo-pituitary ovarian axis, that will be stable. So the Panchakarma is very important in the treatment. Next, this we already know. If at all dosha is Kupitavastha, for Kinchit Kupitavastha is there, then we are treating with the Langana Pachana. But if at all there is Samshodhana is needed, or the doshas are highly in the vitiated state, then the Samshodhana is needed. And it says that Punarudbhavam, na tesham Punarudbhavaha. So whatever that Sri Rogas we treat with the Panchakarma, that will not be repeated once again. So this is the beauty of the Panchakarma treatment in Sri Roga. So as we all know, there are Panchakarmas, mainly Vamana Virechana, Astapana Bastya, Anuvasana Bastya, and Nasya. Of course, according to Shruta, the Rakta Mokshana is told as fifth one, but Rakta Mokshana is very rarely practiced in the Prasutantra Sri Roga. And of course, we practice in the Sthana Vidradi condition and other Granthi conditions, but very rarely practiced. So I will be dealing with these important Panchakarmas, that is Vamana Virechana, Astapana Bastya, Anuvasana Bastya, and Nasya. So Purva Karma to that is Snehana and Swedana, as we all know. So let us deal in detail with the relevance of these in the treatment of the Sri Rogas, and even in the Prasuti, obstetrics. So coming into the Snehana, superficially I will be touching that things about the Snehana. Nahi vatadrute yoninam narinam sampradushyate. So we know that whatever the yoni vyapat which is occurring, there is no yoni vyapat other than, without the involvement of vata, it is told. So it is told in the Charaka Chikitsa Sthana. There should be vata dosha which is involved in the in any Sri Rogas. That is why Snehana can be taken as Purva Karma, which is very best, which can be treated. Even in the Shamana Sneha also, it can be treated. So Nahi Vata Drute Yoninam. Vata is a main culprit in any of the Sri Rogas, So treating the Vata, the Snehana is the prime line of treatment. So it is as a Purva Karma or as a Pradhana Karma also. So here we will be talking as Purva Karma. It can be Snehapana or Abhyanga in any sense. So if we consider the diseases for Snehapana, I'll be not touching everything in detail. For example, Putragni Yoni Vyapat is there. Putragni Yoni Vyapat, where the repeated pregnancy loss is there. She'll undergo abortions very repeatedly. So in that condition, Phalagrata is selected for Snehapana. And other diseases like laxity of vagina, pelvic muscle, if it is there, then lepa of the the tila taila added with the udumbara phala or palasha can be used, and it is again the bahya snehanartha. Next, in the tenderness of the yoni also, we can use the sneha in the kantagruta or phalagruta can be used. Then coming to the other important one, we can consider yoni strava or leucorrhea. Here also we can go for the abhyanga and taila pichu with the dhatakyadi taila etc. can be used. Next, coming to the point snehana as a purva karma. We all know that sukshma strotas will be vilayana will be there, and leena dosha will be vilayana will be occurring, and all these dravatvat it will be eliminating the dosha outside. Dosha vilayana, sukshma, dhatu srotasas will be activated, elimination of doshas. This is what is the action of Svedana. Here also, after Svedana, whatever we give in Stri Rogas, those will do the elimination of doshas by vilayana of the doshas and by cleansing the channels. Next, coming to the Vamana as the main Pradhana Karma, we all know that it is Kafahara or it increases the Agnayatva. That is how it increases Agnayatva. Directly, there is no relation between Agni and Agnayatva and Vamana. Of course, Agni will be increased with all the Shodhana Karmas. Deeptagni, it is the use of Shodhana Karma. We like, but here Kafahara, it reduces the whatever the avarana present here. So Saumya Dhatu is avarita here in the lady, which is manifested with some symptoms, or we can diagnose it with symptoms that we'll be talking later on. So this avarana of the kapha, if it is there, or Saumya Dhatu is there, then Vamana is the prime thing. So Vamana, it releases or it cleanses or it eliminates that Saumya Dhatu, and in turn, after the avarana is cleared, the Agni Vardhana or Pitta is increased. When Pitta is increased, of course, the Agnayatva is increased. Agnayatva, Artavam, Agnayatvam. So the Artava, by its nature, it will increase the Agni Mahabhuta. So if we come to the few of the uses or where the Vamana Karma is useful in treating the Stri Rogas, few I will be discussing here. That is Artavakshaya, Rajasa Vikara, that is any Rasajanam Vikarananam, and Rakta Pradara, Artavadushti, Granthi Arbhuda Chikissa, Vidradi Chikissa, even Stanya Dosha, and Yoni Vyapats also. Few of the Yoni Vyapats will be treated with the Vamana Karma, and Vandyatva. Vandyatva is infertility, of course. So we have different references for treating the Stri Roga with all these Panchakarmas. Next, in Prasuti Tantra, if we see, this Vamana Karma is usually done in the preconceptional care for Garbhadhana purpose, and of course, it is contraindicated in the Garbhini, but few of the exceptional emergency care is there, like Visha, if she is consuming Visha and all, then Mrudu Vamana is indicated in the treatment of the Garbhini. So though she is Garbhini, though she is contraindicated in the treatment of with the Vamana karma, if at all emergency condition like Visha, if it is indicated, then Mrudu Vamana can be given. So even Mrudu Vamana or Tadarthakari Chikitsa can be done after the 8th month of pregnancy by looking into or considering her as the vessel filled with taila. How we have to take care of that vessel filled with the taila, like we have to avoid spilling of those taila. In the same way, we have to look after the Garbhini and give the Vamana karma. And even the Stanya dosha, also this Vamana karma is useful. Next, coming on to the second one, Virechana karma. As we all know, there is a it is Pittahara and Artava Kshayakaraka. So wherever there is a Pitta Vruddhi, where is Artava Vruddhi, excessive bleeding, etc., we can treat that condition with the Virechana. And of course, normal cycle with the Pitta Lakshanas like Daha, Paka, etc., that also can be treated with the Virechana karma. So few of the indications with the Virechana karma is few of the Yoni Rogas like Pittaja Yoni Vyapat, etc., Vandyatva, Pittaja Artava Dushti, Pittaja Srugdara, Artava Kshaya, where there is no Avarana, Dhatu Kshayaja Artava Kshaya if it is there, and Upadamsha, Pittaja Granthi, Raktaja Granthi, etc., etc., can be treated with the Virechana. Then third one is Basti. Basti is the third one in the treatment. So it is a Pradhana karma also and it is a Purva karma also. It is Purva karma for Uttara Basti. So the Niroha Basti is given as Purva karma of Uttara Basti. Usually we give a morning, practically we give Niroha Basti in the morning and afternoon we go for Uttara Basti. And in the Vata Jyoni Vyapat, Pitta Jyoni Vyapat, Kapha Jyoni Vyapat and Yoni Karkashata, all these conditions, we are going for the Basti Chikitsa. Not only in this condition, in like simple condition like dysmenorrhea, painful menstruation. Here also the Matra Basti is very helpful in the treatment. Basti contains again the Asthapana Basti and Anuvasana Basti also. Then is Nasya. We all know that Nasohi Shiraso Dwaram, right? So the Nasya, which the medicine instilled into the nose, that directly activates the or it crosses the brain barriers, and that will be curing the whatever the problem, or it activates the hypothalamus, and thus the hypothalamo-pituitary ovarian axis will be stimulated and activated. So the main almost like menstrual disorders are the problems or menstrual problems are due to these hypothalamo-pituitary ovarian axis disruption. So this Nasya karma that protects or it activates the hypothalamus, thus coordinating the axis. So this is useful in the Yoni Roga, few Granthis and Asrugdar also, and as Pumsavan also we use it. And contraindication, it is Garbhini, so that is contraindicated. So we'll see few of the Stri Rogas, the conditions where the individual Panchakarma is used. Let us take up few conditions, important conditions in the day-to-day practices, and that we will discuss now. If we consider Yoni Vyapat, so there are different 20 Yoni Vyapats which are told. If the female is affected, the whole family will be affected. So if to protect the whole family, the female should be healthy. But what happens is, because of the negligence, because of the activities, because of the shyness, she doesn't say or reveal her problems. But these problems, if it is treated properly, then it can be cured very easily. So when we look into the Chikitsa Siddhanta of Yoni Vyapas, the different 20 Yoni Vyapats are told in classics. When we look into the Chikitsa of this, it is told सर्वव्यापन्न योनिं तु कर्मभिः वमनादिभिः मृदुभिः पंचभिर्नारी स्निग्धस्विन्नाम् उपाचरेत् सर्वतः सुविशुद्धाय शेषकर्मं विधीयते वातव्याधिहरं कर्मं वातार्थानां सदाहितं. So look into the first two lines. Sarvavyapana yonim tu karmabhihi vamanadibhihi. That is, in all type of yoni vyapas, all the panchakarmas, vamanadi panchakarmas, vamanadibhihi it is told. So vamanadi panchakarmas are followed, and it should be followed in the mrudu panchakarmas, because the nari is said as sukumara. So mrudu panchakarma is to be followed, and before that the snigdha svedana, svedana and snehana and svedana is to be followed before the vamana karma. Next is one more shloka. It says that in Vataja Yoni Vyapat, the first line says the Vataja Yoni Vyapat, Snehana and Sweda, followed by Basti Adi karmas are followed, and in the Pittaja and Rakta Pitta karmas, that is Virechana is followed, and the Shleshma Jasu Rukshoshnam. Here the Kaphahara treatment is followed. So Vamana is a choice. Next, one more Yoni Vyapat where the Panchakarma is explained, that is prolapse, uterine prolapse. So uterine prolapse is a condition where the uterus, it descends from its normal position. So the normal position of the uterus or cervix, it is in the level of ischial spines. So this uterus descends below the ischial spines. That is the condition called as prolapse. In this prolapse condition, snigdha svedana, that is svedana and snehana and svedana, that is sthanika yoni abhyanga is done, followed by kshira sveda is done. After that, dustitam stapayet punaha. Whatever the prolapsed uterus is there, that is put inside or pushed inside, and the pichu karma is kept for the to reduce the prolapse. Next, Karnini Yoni Vyapat, one more Yoni Vyapat, Karnini Yoni Vyapat, which is all usually correlated with the erosion, cervical erosion. Here, the Uttarabasti, the medicated Jivaniya drugs or Jivaniya dravyas are taken in the form of what Thaila or Grita. Its Uttarabasti is given. That is helpful in the treatment of Karnini. But practically, usually we are using Kshara or Apamarga Kshara, Kadali Kanda Kshara, etc. for the treatment of Karnini. In our hospital, like we are now following the Kadali Kanda Kshara, the thesis is going on. So, which is giving very good result in the treatment of Karnini Yoni Vyapat. Next is coming to the Artavadushti. Here, Vidhivat Uttarabastyantam, Antam, the lastly, the Uttarabasti. But before that Uttarabasti, all the type of Panchakarma is followed to have Artavashuddhi. So, Vidhivat, Vidhim Uttarabastyantam, Antam. So, at the end, the Uttarabasti is given, but from the beginning, Kuryat Artavashuddhaye, Srinam Snehadi Yuktanam, Chatasrushu Artavartishu. That is, after snehadi yuktanam, after snehana and svedana, the panchakarma is followed as per the need, that is vataja pittaja kaphaja. Accordingly, the panchakarma is done, followed by in the end uttarabasti is given. Vidhivat uttarabastyantam. Right? So that is the thing. Next, one more disease, the rakta pradara. Rakta pradara is excessive menstrual bleeding, where it is told that Garbhashaya Asraji Virekaha. So Virechana karma is the panchakarma of choice, because Virechana, which eliminates the vitiated pitta, in turn reducing the Agneyatva. So once the Agneyatva or the pitta is reduced, Artava will be reduced, which is in the increased condition. In the Rakta Pradara, because of the pitta, increased pitta, due to the Amshamsha Kalpana, due to the similarity of their gunas, the Agneyatva is increased and Artava is increased. So the pitta, I mean, the Virechana which is given, it reduces the pitta in term, it reduces the artava. Next is artava kshaya, where there is reduced flow. So the treatment told is samshodhanam agneyanam cha dravyanam vidivat upayogaha. The samshodhana is the line of treatment. But Dalhana is very keen in treating it. He says samshodhanam iha vamanam na virekaha. So we should follow vamana karma but not the virechana. So maybe the Dalhana is concentrating on avarana janyokta artavakshaya, where the vamana karma is very important. He says whatever the saumya dhatu avarana is there, because of that there is a kshayata of artava. This avarana is reduced or is released by the nirharana of saumya dhatu by vamana karma. So after vamana karma, after the nirharana of saumya dhatu, to increase the artava, we are giving the Agnivardhaka dravyas or Agneyatva dravyas is given. And of course, other thing, Anuvasana also is told. Next, coming to the Stri Vandyatva, the important in this current situation, Snehasveda Vamana Virechanastapan Anuvasanaihi Kramashaha Upacharet. The further there is etc. followed by other medicines. So we are only concerned with the Panchakarma. Here, Snehasveda Vamana Virechanastapan Anuvasanaihi Kramashaha Upacharet. So the firstly the Snehana and Svedana is to be done, followed by Vamana Virechana Asthapana Anuvasana is to be done. And the end, at the end, we are going for the Uttarabasti also. So these are the few Stri Roga conditions where it is treated by the Panchakarmas. So let us have few of the conditions where Stri Roga is like treated. Let us have a discussion of few cases through which we can understand how it is treated. So one case, a patient named so and so, she had irregular cycles since 1.5 years. She approached us with the history of 1.5 years of irregular cycles. She had sudden weight gain of 10 kgs in 6 months. So almost her weight was 65. She was 55 kgs before. Only in 6 months, there was increase of 10 kg weight. She was 65 now. So it was associated with hirsutism. So by history, by looking only, we could identify, we could diagnose her as PCOS case. But still, associated with hirsutism, whatever. And her obstetrical history was, she was P2L2, that is, she was having 2 kids, and she was tubectomized, and both were normal delivery. When she approached us, I have noted some of the menstrual dates of hers. She approached us in the month of, I suppose in the month of February. Her LMP was 1st of February last year, 2019. Then she had her menses in the month of May, that is 13th, March, that is 13th of March. Then she had on 7th of May, that is almost 1.5 to 2 months once she was getting her menstruation. 1.5 to 2 months once she was getting her menstruation. So looking into her condition, the Artavakshaya condition is there because her flow was normal. She had regular menstrual flow. So flow was normal, but the duration of cycle was increased to 1.5 to 2 months. So we can consider this condition as Artavakshaya in Ayurvedic classics. As Dalhana says, Vamana is important than Virechana. So we selected Vamana as a line of treatment. So she admitted on 14th for Vamana Karma. 14 to 18, 5 days we did Udvartana for Kapha Vilayana and Avarana to reduce Avarana or to ease the Vamana process. So Udvartana we followed for 5 days. Then along with that Udvartana, Deepana Pachana Aushadhis were given. Classically, we had given the Panchakola, Panta and Chitrakadivati, of course. And after that, from 19 to 22, that is 19, 20, 21, 24 days, we had given her the Snehapana with the Varunadigrita we had selected. We can even select other medicines also, Panchatikta Gugulgrita, Gugulgritas, Gugul where it is there, it is preferable. Then Vamana Karma was done on 24th by giving 1 day gap. That is 23rd, the Vishrama Kala, where the Kaphavardhaka Aharas were given, and 24th Vamana was done. So after the Vamana, her LMP was 7-5. You can observe her LMP was 7-5, May 7, 2019. And after Vamana Karma, she got her menses on 9-6. June 9th, she got on exactly on 32nd day. Next, she got her menses on July 9th, exactly 30 days after that. Then in the August month, she got in the month of, date 6th, that is on 28th day, she got her menses. And her weight during discharge, after Samsarjana Krama and after a month of follow-up, it was 58 kgs. She could reduce 7 kgs. But even not only the Aushadha and Paricharaka, we have Chatushpadas, right? So not only Dravya, Paricharaka is important here. The Rogi also very much important. This patient was very particular in taking the treatment. She was, whatever we told, one word to word, she followed everything. So this is her report. You can see in the scan which was done on the 27th of March before her admission. The endometrial thickness was 12 mm, almost to the normal, and you can see here polycystic ovarian was seen. All right. So this was the scan before the treatment, and this is the scan after the treatment, after she got 3 consecutive normal cycles. That is in the month of May, we had given her the Vamana. So after Vamana, in the month of May, June, July and August, she had her regular menses. So after that, we told her to go for scan, and this is the report of scan where the PCOD was cured. And of course, she was following the yoga, whatever we told, walk, etc. And not only Vamana Karma, we can have other treatment modalities also. As I talked about Artavakshaya or amenorrhea also, in those conditions also, Vamana Karma can be chosen. And if she has dysmenorrhea to be treated, then even Yoga Basti can be selective. And if she is having excessive bleeding, then Vireshana can be taken by looking into the Artava Vruddhita. And if it is asymptomatic, if she is having only polycysts, then she can be treated with the Bastinasya, Shirodhara, etc. One more, the case of hypothyroidism. So 30 years old lady, she approached us with irregular menses. She had irregular menses since 8 months, last 8 months. For the menses she was getting once in 35 to 40 days. Minimum of 35 days, but usually she used to get around 39-40 days only. And she had white discharge per vagina also. It was associated with the itching. She was on medication for hypothyroidism for 4 years. She was almost 48 kgs. The same line of treatment we followed. Here also you can see her menstrual cycle. She had normal bleeding. No. She had bleeding for 2 to 3 days only. Minimum bleeding with the 1 or 2 pads per day. And the duration of bleeding cycle was 35 to 40 days. So we selected again Vamana Karma as a treatment. It was done in the month of August 2019, and her thyroid tablets we had stopped since few days, or then to see what is the changes. This is her thyroid report before the treatment of the before the Vamana Karma we gave. So you can see TSH, where it is, TSH is 18.48, right? So after the treatment, the TSH level came down and it is almost 4.63, right? But thing is, she was taking 75 mg of Thyronorm tablet. That was stopped, and this she had reduction in the complaint, right? Next is a case of primary amenorrhea we had, where a patient about 16 years, like it was accidentally she met us. Her mother came to us for some of the menstrual irregularity treatment. She was also obese. Then casually when we talked, she said that my daughter, she is 16 years old. No, what age the people will get menarche? What is the upper limit? She asked. It is obviously it is 16 years. Then she was astonished. She told, my daughter is 16 years old. She did not attain her menarche till now. So on examination, her almost all the secondary sexual characters were well developed. She had telarche, menarche, sorry, menarche was not there. The axillary hairs, the pubic hairs, the breast budding, everything was normal, but she did not attain her menarche. And she was obese, weight gain was there. We selected Vamana Karma as she was fit for taking the Vamana. We opted Vamana Karma followed by Nasya. So she attained her menarche in 2 months with the regular flow. This is her report. She even had polycystic ovarian disease at her 16 age before her menarche itself. Rakta Pradara with the fibroid uterus. She had patient had irregular cycles with excessive bleeding. She was 45 years old. She was having excessive PV bleeding since 1.5 years. So since 1.5 years, we were like she was having excessive bleeding. 5 to 6 days she was having bleeding, but it used to get once in 6 months only. And she used to have 5 to 6 pads per day. She was tubectomized 20 years back only. And here the condition was Rakta Pradara. So looking into the dosha involvement, the pitta increased artava. So the Virechana Karma was opted. And there was reduction in the Rakta Pradara, but of course, fibroid, we had to treat her for long term. Even now also, she is coming for treatment, but there is a reduction in the condition. One more patient with excessive bleeding for vagina since menarche also. Now complaining of during admission, she had pain in the left iliac region with the pulling type of pain in the left leg. Again, she had heavy bleeding of 5 to 6 days, and she was using 5 to 6 pads per day. She had underwent LSCS 5 years back, and she was also treated with the Virechana Karma. Here she was diagnosed to have the ovarian cyst and thickened endometrium. So we had selected the Virechana Karma for the treatment. And Udavartini, one more simple disease where we can have numerous number of treatment protocols. Simple Nitya Virechana also works. Simple Agnideepana Dravyas also will work. Mustadiyapana Basti will work. So even the Uttar Basti also very helpful in this condition. So 20-year-old student approached us with the severe pain abdomen. Usually she has pain abdomen 2 to 3 days. First 2 to 3 days of the menstrual cycle, it was associated with vomiting. So here we treated her with the Mustadiyapana Basti. It is a type of yoga basti. So pain was reduced in the next cycle itself. Vomiting was completely reduced. But the Panchakarma is we are selecting as a secondary line of treatment, where usually the treatment or she is not getting relief from the complaints. Next, infertility. Many cases of infertility. I am just telling the importance of Virechana and Vamana here. We had a patient with the 1 to 1.5 years, like she had marital life. Was very eagerly to conceive, but no abnormalities found. Her follicular study was normal, her HSG was normal, her all the hormonal assay was normal, but still she was unable to conceive. So here, as a preconceptional care to promote the Garbhadana, we opted the Virechana Karma. Actually, we would have opted Vamana followed by Virechana, but looking into the easiness for the patient, we opted Virechana Karma, and in the first visit, in the first cycle, then in the second cycle, we went for the Yoga Basti and Shirodhara. Right? Then in the next cycle only, she conceived. She had delivered healthy baby. One more case with the active marital life of 5 years. Again, it is unexplained infertility. In this condition also, we followed same protocol. They conceived. This I am talking only for the unexplained infertility we followed. And if there is any problem like PCOD, etc., accordingly, what is the problem present in that patient? Accordingly, the treatment is to be given. So these are the few conditions. If we talk, we can talk about the conditions, Stri Roga conditions, and their treatment protocols. But we have to limit ourselves. We'll discuss if you people have any queries. And coming to the Prasuti Tantra. So coming to the Prasuti Tantra, many conditions. First of all, we can see the Garbhadhana Samskara, what we follow. Right? The Garbhadhana Samskara, it is to get the healthy progeny. Here, the partners, whatever, for getting the healthy progeny, to have the uncomplicated pregnancy, to reduce the complications during the pregnancy and delivery, this preconceptional care or the Garbhadhana Samskara or the Shodhana which we follow for the partners is very helpful. What we follow is Snehana Swedhana and suitable purificatory measures. If they are so keen, if they are willing, we are starting with the Snehana Swedhana Vamana and ending with the Uttara Basti. But due to lack of time, their busy schedules, people are very reluctant into taking those many treatment. So Snehana Swedhana followed by Vamana or Virechana, or Sadhyo Vamana followed by Virechana, we usually take up. Then followed by Basti Karma. Then in Rajaswala, that is when she is during the menstruation, she we for Svedana, Nasya, Vamana, whatever it is contraindicated. They tell because if they follow, there is a complication which is occurring. Those are explained in our classics. So abnormality of the menstruation due to Nasya also is explained in the classics. Like if the Nasya is taken in the Rajaswalachari during menstruation, she'll have during menstruation she'll have her menstrual abnormalities. This is the explained. Then Samyoga Vidhi, in the Purva Karma of the Samyoga Vidhi, in the Garbhadhana Samskara, in the context of Garbhadhana, the Purva Karma is explained. Here also the Panchakarmas are explained. That is Sneha, Swedha, Upadhyaya. Means after giving Sneha and Swedha, Vamana Virechana, we have to go for Samshodhana. So with the Vamana Virechana, the Samshodhana is done, and according to the Prakriti, and after that Asthapana Anuvasana is to be given. So the Panchakarma, that means the Panchakarmas is to be followed before the conception. That is Snehana Svedana followed by Vamana Virechana, and it is followed by Asthapana and Anuvasana. So there is one more concept, Nasya used as contraception. We never used this. We never treated the patient with the Ayurvedic contraception, or the reference is there. And as a Pumsavana, Nasya as Pumsavana, of course, we know that there are three views in treating the Pumsavana, that is Garbhagrahanartha, Garbhasthapanartha and Pumsatvakaraka. That is Garbhagrahanartha, the first picture for the fertilization, proper fertilization of the fertilization purpose. That is Garbhagrahanartha. Next is Garbhasthapanartha, that is for the proper implantation. The Garbhagrahanartha is fertilization, Garbhasthapanartha is proper implantation, and Pumsatvam, that is for getting the desired sex actually, but which is banned nowadays and we are not following. And but for proper implantation and fertilization, we can have Nasya Karma after all the Snehana Svedana, Vamana Virechana, Asthapana and Anuvasana, we can go for it. Next, after the conception, the Abhyanga and Udvartana are contraindicated, it is told. In the Prathama Masa itself, it is explained that it is in the Garbhini, the Apsvedana, Svedana, etc. are contraindicated. But when we see the Ashtama Masa, Masanumasika Paricharya, when they explain, Sushrutacharya and Ashtanga Hridayakara, some Ashtangakara, they explain Ashtama Masa, Asthapana and Anuvasana Basti is used. Right? Ashtama Masa in the 8th month, Asthapana and Anuvasana Basti can be given. Before 8th month, it is not to be given. Maybe Sthiri Bhavati Ojaha. So after Asthiro Bhavati Ojaha is before 8th month. So after 8th month, the Sthirikarana of the Oja or the life, the baby becomes stable. So after that, if the lady delivers, that is she'll have no problem. So Asthapana and Anuvasana Basti may be told. So it is told that the Prasava Kala Navame Masi, like after finishing the Ashtama Masa, from Navama Masa or from 9th month, it is told that Asthapana Basti or Anuvasana Basti can be given in the 8th month. And Charakakara says that Anuvasana is indicated in the 9th month. Okay, but These are, of course, it is contraindicated in the early pregnancy. Next, when we look into the Samanya Chikitsa Sutras of Garbhini Vyadhis, there are many Garbhini Vyadhis told. What we say, to treat the Garbhini Vyadhis, the Chikitsa Sutra which is explained here, but in the Garbhini, the Panchakarmas is contraindicated. Though Panchakarma is contraindicated in the Garbhavastha, by considering into the emergency care, Atyayika Avastha, the Mrudu Vamanadi karma can be followed. The reference we get in the Charaka Sushruta everywhere. So, Shodhana karma can be followed, it is told. Still, it is avoided usually. But the reference is there that it can be followed, but in the Mrudu Avastha. One more reference we have about the Panchakarma is in the Garbhini Udavarta condition. Vishishta Chikitsa is explained. That is, in the Garbhini Udavarta, Anuvasana Basti is given. Then Niruha Basti is given with the Madhuraushada Siddha Taila or Madhuka Siddha Taila. The Anuvasana Basti can be given. So these are the few points where we have a reference about the Panchakarma or mainly the Basti Chikitsa in Garbhavastha. We get in the preconceptional care the reference for all the Panchakarmas and we usually follow it. And the other Panchakarma we follow is as 9th month Garbhini Paricharya. After she attained her 37 week of gestation, usually around 38 week, we advise patient to have the Anuvasana Basti or Matra Basti. So it is told that Navametu Kalvenam Mase Madhuraushad Siddhena Tailam Anuvasayet. So after that, Asya Tailastu Pichum Yonyo, whatever. So in the Navama Masa, Madhuraushada Siddha Taila is to be used for Anuvasana. So Anuvasana is indicated in the Navami Masa according to Charaka. So Anuvasana Basti is given in the 9th month. We give once she attain her maturity or term, that is term for delivery, we consider 37 weeks to 40 weeks or 42 weeks according to textbooks. But usually we consider 37 to 40 weeks as proper term or maturity for delivery. So once she attains 37 weeks of pregnancy, we go for Anuvasana Basti followed by Pichu Dharana. So for this Madhuraushada Siddha Anuvasana Basti is selected and same Taila is used for Pichu also. Many thesis works, the dissertation, research works are going on. Every year there will be research works on this topic. Like Anuvasana Basti followed by Pichu Dharana for Sukha Prasava. For easy delivery we follow. Kshira Bala Taila we follow, Bala like Kshira Bala Taila is the mainly thing. Bala Taila also we can go for Dhanvantara Taila, Mahanarayan Taila, etc. These drugs like abdominal massage we give or pelvic massage. Abdominal means not whole abdomen, the lower abdomen with the genitalia and upper thigh. The massage is given and even the vaginal massage is given, lubrication of the vagina for increasing the laxity of the vagina for delivery, and the Pichu is kept. Of course, Matra Basti is given and Pichu is kept in the vagina for encouraging for easy delivery. So these are the few points in Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga. Concisely, the Panchakarma, use of Panchakarma with some cases is explained. The main is like we can what we say segregate, summarize that it is Samshodhanata and for detoxification and mainly the coordination of HPO axis. Right, the HPO axis is very important. It is a prime thing for having healthy progeny. Sorry, not only progeny, the health of the lady, right? So the menstrual health is directly depend on the coordination of HPO axis. Everything action is on HPO axis, what we should consider, and thus treating the Stri Roga and Prasuti Tantra with the Panchakarma mode, like line of treatment as Panchakarma, right? So more than the what the classical references and all, it is better to have discussion session, what I feel. So any queries are most welcome. Let us discuss on the queries.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for taking your time to prepare for us such an extraordinary, wonderful presentation, which was incredibly informative. We shall now go ahead to the question and answer session.
Yeah, sure.
Now we have a participant who has raised her hand.
Yeah.
Dr. Jyoti, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma'am, my question is that you explained in PCOD we should go for the woman karma because of Soto Avrod. It is also good for the patient of Pittaj Prakriti and thin girls?
Again, the condition varies, right? The thin girls, Pittaja Prakriti, that directly indicates there is no Kapha Varana, right?
But Artavachaya is there.
Yeah. What?
Artavachaya is there. They are having menses in 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, Artavakshaya, there is 2 types of Artavakshaya we can consider. According to Samprapti, we can consider there is 2 types of Samprapti for Artavakshaya. One is Avarana Janya Artavakshaya, one more is Dhatukshaya Janya Artavakshaya. So where you are telling the lean patient, all those like with the Pittaja Prakriti, maybe there is Dhatukshaya Artavakshaya which is there. So here the Vamana Karma is not helpful. And as you are telling that she is very lean, right? So lean patients, again, they are anarha for Vamana Karma. Right?
Okay. And lean 65 kg weight, 65, 63 kg weight.
63, 65 we cannot consider as lean. We have to look into the BMI of patient. If at all you feel that there is Avarana is there, Kapha is there, which is dominating, then you have to go for Vamana Karma. You have to see the condition if she is having that. Otherwise, you have to consider if there is Pittakshay or Pittaja Prakriti you are telling about, no? So you have to consider the Artavakshaya condition as Dhatukshaya Janya, then you can go for Virechana Karma. It depends. Every patient we can go for Vamana.
Yeah, okay. If patient is having acidity, severe Amla Pitta Lakshanas, and also having PCOD, then we should go for the Vaman.
No, acidity, you cannot, Vamana Karma is difficult, no?
Yes.
It is Pitta Janya. We directly go for Virechana Karma, no issues.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
According to symptoms, according to condition, Vamana or Virechana is to be followed.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Next, we have Dr. Niranjan Kumar.
Hello.
You can ask me.
Hello.
Yes, doctor, you can ask your question.
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Niranjan.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes. Please ask.
If there is inadequacy of pelvis, whether your Anuvasana Basti with Kshira Bala at the time of delivery will help?
No. Definitely not. Pelvic assessment we have to do before we give the Anuvasana Basti, right? So the PV examination, pelvic assessment we do in the full-term pregnancies, that is after attaining the full maturity after completion of 37 weeks, right? After that, we like check for the pelvic adequacy. If the pelvic is adequate, then only Anuvasana Basti. Otherwise, it is of no use because pelvis cannot widen or reduce the size of the baby. So that is not at all possible. Where CP is the absolute indication for cesarean section, if at all there is CPD, right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Next, we have Dr. Harish. Dr. Harish, you can ask your question.
Madam, good evening. Here, not explained about Uttar Basti in any cases.
It is not explained because doesn't come exactly under Panchakarma, right? So it was untouched. If we talk about Uttara Basti is a treatment in almost every yoni weapons, including Artavakshaya, in Artavavruddhi, that is Rakta Pradara, infertility, tubal block, anovulation. In many of the conditions, the Uttara Basti is line of treatment. It is actually doesn't come under Panchakarmas, so it was untouched. If you have any doubt pertaining to that,
ma'am, most important in female cases, in also male cases, but most important in female cases in infertility, PCOD.
Yes.
In other cases also.
Actually, the drug Uttara Basti is directly, the drug is instilled into the uterus through the cervix. So according to the usage of drugs, the treatment is there. Usually in the endometrial bedding is less. If there is anovulation, then we go for the Uttara Basti with the Falagruta or Mahanarayana Taila or something like that. And if at all there is a tubal block, then also fine. Dhanvantara Taila or Dashamula Taila is very helpful to reduce the, release the block, tubal block. We go for Uttara Basti. In Artavakshaya condition also, that stimulated the Uttara Basti. We had a patient, she was around 35 years. She had Artavakshaya. She she had many treatments. Her Artavakshaya was not reduced. Then we admitted her for Uttara Basti. Then Uttara Basti was given with Dashamula Taila. The next cycle, her menstruation was for 1 to 2 days only. That too, she was using hardly 1 pad per day. So she could have her menstruation in the next cycle, the normal menstruation. She had 3 days menstruation. Like last 10 years, it was the first time she had menstruation more than 3 days. So like we done that Uttara Basti consecutive 3 cycles, and she had got relief from the Artavakshaya. Now also in our hospital, we have patients for Uttara Basti in Rakta Pradara condition also. It is helpful.
Yes, ma'am. Is also need to give after that Snehan and Swedan direct can give Uttar Basti or before that we will do
Uttara Basti, that can be like time of administration is just after finishing the menstruation. Like if she has bleeding for 4 days, on 5th day we should go for Uttara Basti. Then morning we can go for Niruha Basti, and afternoon Uttara Basti we can go for that like that. Or else 1 day Niruha Basti, next day Uttara Basti, next day that practice also is there. But 3 days Uttara Basti is given in 3 consecutive cycles. It depends upon the practitioners, right? Usually we give morning Niruha Basti we give, and afternoon we give Uttara Basti for 3 days.
After all the Panchkarma we done, after can give
Uttara Basti? No. We are not doing that. Niruha Basti we do, right? So morning Niruha Basti, afternoon we just give a Sthanika massage and Uttara Basti directly.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have a question from the chat box. Yeah. Patient aged 51 years with case of painful menstruation since 5 months. associated with backache, dysmenorrhea, white discharge. USG report shows multiple fibroid with big mass measuring 8.7 centimeter. What will be the procedure?
Yeah, the whatever the condition was told, the dysmenorrhea, the what we say, heavy flow, etc. Everything is because of those fibroid which is causing. One more thing is her age is 51 years, right? So in the 51 years, it is a time to like withdraw or menopausal time. It is perimenopausal time where there will be menstrual irregularities, which is very common. But fibroid is 8 centimeter bigger. So this such a big fibroid that is causing what we say congestion in the uterus, thus causing the pain in both the groin region, leg region, etc. So 8 centimeter fibroid is very difficult to treat, of course, but as usually almost everybody we prefer for hysterectomy only. But considering the age 51 years, after menopause, it is said that it is observed, even it is said that the fibroids are shrunken because the fibroids are estrogen dependent thing. So when estrogen is withdrawn during the menopause, the what we say she attained menopause. When estrogen is withdrawn, she attained menopause. When she attained menopause, there is shrinkage of the uterus, there is shrinkage of fibroid along with the uterus, and of course bleeding stops. But only drawback is she have to undergo tested for cancerous conditions very oftenly, because fibroids are benign tumors. These are tumors only. We should be very cautious. Benign tumors only. And it is 8 centimeter bigger. So those benign tumors, they'll become malignant in due course. This is the only negative thing we have to have to avoid hysterectomy. But 8 centimeter long, considering the age 51 years, we can go for hysterectomy too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
How will Nasya work in Asritdara or dysfunctional uterine bleeding, as HPO axis stimulation is already present in DUB, due to which there is heavy flow? Kindly explain, ma'am.
Okay. HPO axis stimulation is there. Usually in the heavy flow, what happens is the estrogen level will be higher. Usually what happens, the follicles is hyperstimulated or whatever, the estrogen secretion will be more in this condition, if you see. So hyperestrogenic condition is due to the incoordination of HPO axis itself. It is not due to the hyperstimulation, we cannot say. There is incoordination of the HPO axis, because when there is estrogen, high level of estrogen, there should be negative feedback to GnRH telling that there is high level of estrogen. So maybe due to the hyperstimulation of FSH hormone and the hyperstimulation of follicles. So this is one of the thing I'm telling. So there should be negative feedback telling to reduce the action. In such condition, we can go for the Nasya Karma where it is helpful. But usually we doesn't select Nasya Karma. Instead, we go for Uttarabasti here. Virechana followed by Uttarabasti, what we follow. Still, Nasya Karma, it doesn't stimulate or aggravate the action of HPO axis, that will coordinate the action of HPO axis. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to next question. Please mention herbs used for Udvartana.
Udvartana, it depends upon like hospital to hospital. Usually we use Kulatta, Amalaki, Haridra, Devdaru, right? And these drugs, Vipitaki also sometimes. So these drugs are used for the Udvartana. Main ingredients will be Kulatta, Haridra, and even what we say, Devdaru are used.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
What Nasya Aushadhi was used in primary amenorrhea patient?
Yes. So Nasya Aushadhi, she, like, after Vamana Karma, she did not get her menstruation. So after, like, we called her after Samsarjana Krama, so there was no menstruation. So we had used, I suppose it was Shatapushpa Churna used for Nasya. Pradhamana Nasya was given, and it was done for 3 days in the admission. And after that, we told her to use Anutaila daily.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to next question. What treatment is to be given to resolve fibroids? Please elaborate, ma'am.
We cannot fix the line of treatment for fibroid. Here, fibroid we consider is what we say, the Mamsala Granthi we can consider. We can consider Raktaja Granthi. We can consider and with the symptoms, there may be Artavakshaya, there may be Rakta Pradara. So accordingly, what symptoms she come with, what is the size of the fibroid she has, on that the treatment follows. So if at all she has excessive bleeding, so the Virechana, you can go for the Virechana Karma to reduce the bleeding. We can go for Pichu of Lajjalu, Kalka Pichu, etc. So thus reducing the bleeding. And then go for the Lekaniya Dravyas, which treat the fibroid. Lekaniya Dravyas we can go for, like Shiva Gutika you can use, or Paniya Kshar also we give usually, looking into the endometrial thickness. So fibroid, we cannot fix the line of treatment like this only we should do. But if the fibroid is the lady is having excessive flow, go for Virechana Karma followed by Pitta Hara line of treatment or Rakta Hara line of treatment, followed by Lekaniya Dravyas for curing of the fibroid. We had a patient, she came to us telling that she stopped our medicine for 6 months. She came telling us that she was drinking the Gomutra every day in the empty stomach. And her fibroid size was 50% reduced in that 6 months. Like this. The Lekana Dravyas, but actually she did not had any symptoms. That is what we had a plus point. So that will happen. But the treatment is according to the conditions they have. According to the presentation they have will be the treatment.
Thank you, ma'am. Next we have Dr. Swati. Dr. Swati, you can ask your question.
Very good evening, Dr. Madhu. It was really nice to hear you. Ma'am, I am right now having 2 patients, and both of them are unmarried. They are 21, I guess, and one is 24.
Yeah, unmarried, right? You told yes, that it is fine.
Yes, unmarried, ma'am. Yeah. And they have they were suffering with irregular bleed, and this is Rakta Pradar. They were suffering with plenty of bleeding they were having, ma'am. In the month of September, one girl was throughout the September month, she was having the bleeding, and unfortunately we had to give her the allopathic help to subside the bleeding, as with Ayurvedic medicine she was not responding at all. Again, after 1 month of hormonal course, she withdrew the hormonal tablets, and November she was on our Ayurvedic line of treatment. She got her bleed normally. Again, December again she had on 19th December. Then one day she have spotting, other day again she has heavy bleeding. So it is not been diagnosed right now how and why she's suffering with this kind of irregular bleeding, in spite of giving so many of the medicines, and also the Virechana was given to her, and unfortunately she did not respond to any of these treatments, ma'am. Could you please help me out?
You have asked her the history of taking that hormonal pills?
No, ma'am, she was not taking. Earlier, she had come to me with the case of secondary amenorrhea in
Yeah.
2019. When I
Okay.
induced the Vamna, she happened to have her periods regularly. After taking the
Okay.
Vamna, ma'am, she
Uh,
was on the Ayurvedic medication until and unless she was on the M2 tone and other
yeah,
syrups,
fine.
Ayurvedic medications. She was having regular periods. Then, after some time, when we stopped the medicines for after 3 months, again she was suffering with this September, again August or September, I don't remember exactly. She came again with
Yeah.
the continuous bleeding problem, ma'am, and the entire September month went with excessively bleeding and her completely soaked pad. She was sending me the picture. Because of COVID, we are not interacting one to one, and we are just taking the telecommunications in Delhi. I'm calling from Delhi, ma'am. So could you please help me out where I'm lacking and where I'm doing not able to help my patient, ma'am? Could you please help me in that?
Yeah. Actually, directly we could, as I could, like we did not talk with patient. There may be many reasons. One simple reason I will tell, which we like many of the patient we come across. One is what they do is they will go to allopathics to take to stop their bleeding in between. So they go there, they get hormonal pills, but they will be not knowing that these are hormonal pills, and they give hormonal pills in loose also. They give 20 days etc like that, and these people come with that hormonal pills. They take for 2-3 days, they stop it. The withdrawal bleeding starts again. They think that, oh, your bleeding started again. They start taking that medicine. 2-3 days again they'll stop, thinking that menses is stopped. Again they'll have bleeding because of the withdrawal. This is a common thing we get to know with the patients. They don't know that it is hormonal pills, but they continuously take it. This is the one. One more thing is, though Virechana was given, they would have not followed after what medicines, or after Samsarjana Krama, they would have haphazardly stopped taking the Patyahara. That is one more thing what we observe. Virechana was given, everything was all right for a month. Then again,
Yes.
the whatever Apatya, Ahara, Vihara they follow, again they come into the same condition. So
Yes,
if
ma'am.
that is the that is the which is occurring.
Ma'am, I
They
have a
what
question. Like in such cases, at the time of periods itself, can we just induce the virechana and release the pitta during the periods itself, or is it contraindicated to give virechana for the Rakta
yes,
Pradhar at the
yes,
time
yes,
when it is happening, ma'am?
yes. It must not be given during the Virechana Karma. Give medicines like to stop. Like we can give Lajjanukalka, Durvasvarasa, simple things, right? We can give that. And of course, during spotting, we can go for. Otherwise, in the flow, the Virechana Karma is contraindicated. We cannot go. Even Snehapan also, we must not do. The other thing is, when we do Snehapana, it will trigger the channels again. The menses will be there.
So,
So
ma'am,
what?
basically, you mean to say is that this time when she happened to have the normal bleed, or once her bleeding gets stopped, then in between, I can any day plan for the Virechana, and then only it is beneficial to her rather than giving the Virechana at the time of bleeding, right, ma'am?
Just when she stop with the bleeding, start with the Virechana.
Okay,
That will
ma'am.
be
Okay.
best.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your informative lecture, ma'am. Really blissful. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Shilpa. Dr. Shilpa, you can ask your question.
Hello, madam. Namaste.
Yeah, namaste.
Madam, patient is to around 24 years.
Yeah.
She is suffering from dysfunctional uterine bleeding.
Okay.
All reports are normal, but USG mentions that it is inhomogeneous myometrium.
Okay.
After giving kahar of pishti, patrangasava, everything bleeding has not yet subsided, madam.
Okay.
And even she has underwent virechana also.
Okay.
What can be done, ma'am?
What is the thickness of that myome? I mean, what is the exactly what is given?
Just it is mentioned in homogeneous myometrium.
Okay.
Uterus.
What is the endometrial thickness?
Endometrial thickness. No, madam, it is not mentioned. 0.5 centimeters, ma'am.
0.5 centimeter. Okay, 5 mm is the 0.5 centimeter, 5 mm. Yes. So 5 mm thickness of the endometrium is fine. So as it is inhomogeneous mixture, like myometrial echo texture with the heavy bleeding, you can go for what we say, any Pittahara line of treatment, like even you have used Pravala Pishti like that.
Kaharava Pishti, ma'am. Kaharava Pishti.
Okay. You can go for what Chandrakala Rasa or any Stambhana line of treatment is helpful, because endometrial thickness is not there. No, it is not directly fibroid also, right?
Yes,
so because of that, you can directly go for Pittahara. You can go for Nitya Virechana also. That is also helpful.
With which drugs, ma'am? Nitya Eranda Taila?
Yeah, Eranda Taila is fine. Or Swadishta Virechana is there, no? Tablet or Churna, that is also fine.
Okay, madam. Only Virechana with Chandrakala.
Simple. Yeah, simple Avipati color Churna also we will have good result in this condition.
Okay. Madam, this is purely Pittaja Pradhara?
You can consider it.
Okay,
again, the history and her examination also depends.
Okay, but she's overweight, madam. She's obese, slightly obese. Her BMI is...
tell her to reduce this yoga. Yoga, everything you tell her, that is also very much helpful. Sometimes with the reduction of weight only, everything will be fine.
But asanas are contraindicated during menstruation, ma'am.
No, let her do after menstruation, right?
But it is not at all subsiding. Every day she bleeds.
Then you have to give the Pittahara or Stambhaka line of treatment. Kashaya rasa, like you give Panchavalkala Kashaya orally.
Okay.
It will very much helpful in stopping the bleeding. Okay.
Okay, madam. Instead of Patrangasava, we'll
yes, go for the Panchavalkala. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Shamim. Dr. Shamim, you can ask your question.
Hello. Yeah, ma'am. Actually, my query was the same. She had already answered. That was regarding fibroid in a 47-year-old female having pain in abdomen and metrorrhagia, multiple fibroids in the sonography.
Yeah.
I have not given any. That is what that was. I was asking the treatment.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Done, no? Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Virechana.
Yeah, already answered, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, the patient is little overweight, ma'am, and Pitta Prakruti. So same Virechana will go, ma'am. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am.
Virechana.
Yeah, Virechana in particular, with what drugs can be given? That was what I was wanting to ask.
Okay, Trivrutleha Draksha Kashaya also fine, no? It is safely given. It can be safely given. Yeah.
Trivrutleha Draksha Kashaya. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to next question. Are there any precautions for Yoni Pichu Dharana in third trimester of pregnancy? Do we sterilize oil before Yoni Pichu Dharana?
Usually the oils will be sterilized, right? If it is sealed boxes, it is usually prepared and sealed, right? So what we do is we again heat the oil, then lukewarmly cold, then we use sterilized pichu, dip in that oil, that is kept in the vagina. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Which drug is given for Vamana in case of delayed menarche?
Drug we usually give with the Madanaphala Pippali itself. There is no specific drug changing we doesn't do with the Vamana Karma. Like Madana Pippali only we give the Vamana Karma even in the delayed menarche also. For that patient where I explained the primary amenorrhea also, that was the thing given.
Thank you, ma'am. How Shirodhara helps in infertility?
Yeah, Shirodhara directly you cannot tell that Shirodhara caused this. But thing is, Shirodhara, what happens? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You can continue.
Yeah. Shirodhara, almost the couple will be having tension or anxious to conceive condition, right? So, HPO axis variation or incoordination is most common thing what we observe. So, Shirodhara that cools or it reduces her tension and have a cool mind. So, Saumanasyam Garbhadharanam we tell. The manas is very important to have pregnancy. That is why indirectly Shirodhara is helpful. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you explain the rationality of adopting Shirodhara?
Same thing, right?
Yes.
Almost same question. Yeah.
Next question, ma'am. Garbhadharan Shodhan, will it be effective when it's taken 6 months before conception?
We cannot say that this month the Shodhana Karma is taken and next month she'll conceive. We cannot say, right? So 6 months before also if they take, they should have healthy Ahara Vihara later on, and its effect is of course visible during the pregnancy, right? So though it is taken 6 months before, the regular use of proper Ahara Viharas is sufficient.
Thank you, ma'am. Dysmenorrhea and irregular menses 30 to 40 days after treatment since menarche and having bilateral iliac pain since 1 year before menses and unmarried of 26 age with normal TFT. What can be the treatment?
So she has dysmenorrhea, she has irregular cycles, and hope her sonography is normal, right? So this is like by look, it looks like a PCOD condition, but as the sonography is normal, only she is having dysmenorrhea and Artavakshaya line of treatment, I mean condition. Then you give some Rakta or what? The drugs which causes Rajasrava, proper Rajasrava, that is one of the treatment we can have. That means she has normal bleeding, but what duration is, cycle duration is more, right? So you can give Artava Janaka drugs along with the Vatahara drugs. So that will reduce reduce this condition.
Thank you, ma'am. Please explain Nasya Dravya for PCOD and low AMH or infertility.
Nasya Dravya, again it depends. Shatapushpa Taila Nasya can be given. Usually we use that only. Shatapushpa Taila for regular use, the Anutaila is told, but that is not practice. But Nasya we give with the Shatapushpa Taila. That will cure the thing.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Rajeshwari. Dr. Rajeshwari, you can ask your question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there is a case of 26 years female with infertility where I have given all the Shodhana procedures for PCOS. So she has been completely cured with the cyst. But now with the HSG, we have found that there are peritubal adhesions.
Okay.
So, in bilateral peritubal adhesions where the tubal patency is there. So, in that case, should we administer Uttarabasti or any other procedures?
Peritubal tube is patent?
Tubes are patent.
Okay. When there is tube is patent, Uttarabasti doesn't help, right? Peritubal, right? Outside the tube, there is addition.
Outside the tubes, yes.
Yeah, you have checked for TB?
The history was like when she was 8 years old, she got the tuberculosis. 8 years old baby.
Yeah. So anti-tubercular treatments are given.
That
you just
she doesn't
confirm
remember.
that. Yeah. Yes, once again, you go for TB checking because these additions are very common with the TB.
Yes, ma'am.
So if it is not treated, you cannot that is a one cause for infertility also.
And one more case, ma'am, with the 36 years female with Trichomonas vaginalis. So can Uttarabasti can be given during the infection, or it is after curing?
No. That should be treated first. Trichomonas vaginalis should be treated first. Then only the Uttarabasti is to be given. Otherwise, this Uttarabasti to treat that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we can go for Yoni Prakshalana Pichu also. We can have Dhupana Karma, right? We have a different mode of treatment. First, that should be cured, then only Uttarabasti. Otherwise, there will be ascending infection.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Kritika. Dr. Kritika, you can ask your question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma'am, I have 2 to 3 queries. First is that what would you suggest you share your practical experience of giving Pratimash Nasya in the HPO axis imbalance or somewhere we are facing in the OPDs like dysmenorrhea or stabbing pain due to adenomyosis. So if there is something Pratimash Nasya we could just help out at that time. First, sir, ma'am, please suggest that. Second thing is that I attended one infertility lecture last week from some webinar, and that was presented by an allopath, which focused that normally we don't go for AMH values and we just start treating infertility. So he said so many doctors claim that, oh, we can give you this treatment and we will help you increase your AMH. Whereas according to them, this is something very physiological and it can't be managed in the later age, like what it is nowadays going 30s, 31, 32. As he explained the basic concept behind that. But as per your experience, can you please share, is there anything that you had practiced for the better AMH, or we could just prevent that from, because he said this is physiological, you can't stop that process.
AMH, there is no concept of AMH in Ayurveda, right? So the AMH level we never check, right? So usually we will not aim to increase the AMH level, right? If you go on trying to increase the AMH level, the fertility will be there only. That will not be achieved. So we never think of AMH level, but whatever reception of the receptivity of the endometrium, we try to increase ovulation, everything, other factors, if it is fine, then there will be conception. AMH, with low AMH level also people conceive. So not to think about or worry about the AMH in this condition. Okay. And Pratimashanasya, we usually use in the primary amenorrhea only. In the adenomyosis, Pratimashanasya I did not use, right? In the adenomyosis, the symptomatical treatment you give, and along with that, if you give Shodhana Karma, adenomyosis will be reduced or cured. Okay.
And what about my HPO axis imbalance, like any Pratimash that could be followed throughout 3 to 4 months?
HPO axis imbalance, what sense?
Pratimash Nasya, ma'am. Along with because
HPO axis imbalance, What symptoms, about what symptoms or what for which condition exactly?
Ma'am, for example, PCOD.
Yeah, like that you are talking about. Pratimashanasya, in the condition of incoordination of HPO axis, you can give like Tikshna cannot be given for longer time, right? So the Shatapushpa Taila is can be given as Nasya, but 2 drops, right? You can
If it is along with hypothyroidism, Anutel will help?
Yeah, it will help. No problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Rita. Dr. Rita, you can ask your question. Dr. Rita, you can ask your question. Okay, ma'am. I think she is not there.
Okay.
So, thank you, ma'am, for answering all the questions. Once again, thank you, ma'am. So, shall we conclude now, ma'am?
Yeah, fine.
Now, I request Dr. Vadivikar C.K., Assistant Professor, Department of Kriya Sharira, Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good evening, one and all. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of Ayurveda College and my own behalf, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making this webinar a grand success. First and foremost, it's my privilege to thank today's guest speaker, Dr. Madhu, for your thought-provoking and interesting session. We have been fortunate enough to have an eminent personality with us here. Your clinical experience in understanding in the field of Prasuti Tantra shows your depth of knowledge in the subject, and your ability to present the topic in such an interesting way produced one of the most memorable evening for all of us. Thank you, ma'am. As no progress can become a successful wish a single person. So I extend my big thanks to our whole Ayurveda College family for their support and teamwork. We are all almost grateful to all the guests and participants here. We thank you all for being with us this evening. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. We have now come to the end of the session. The sun sets in the evening today with the promise that it will rise again tomorrow.
Thank you organizers and all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am. The sun sets in the evening.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you, the organizers. Yeah. Yeah. Hello,
yeah,
hello.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, it is audible. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Shall I conclude, ma'am?
Thank you, organizers, Diksha and Coimbatore College, and all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have now come to the end of the session. The sun sets in the evening today with the promise that it will rise again tomorrow. Here's hoping that the day comes will be a better tomorrow. Seeing you all in the next session on Basics of Blood Investigations and Its Importance by Dr. Raj Mohan V, Associate Professor, Department of Rasa Shastra and Vaishajya Kalpana, Government Ayurveda College, Trivandrum on 6th January. To know more about our updates, please do stay connected with our social platform. That's all for today's most interesting session with lot of new information for us to close our eyes with thought-provoking knowledge. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you. Wishing you a happy and prosperous new year.